Yes, my dear friends, welcome back to the channel. Very good morning to you guys all out there, wherever you are on the globe, on the continent of Africa, in Europe, in America, Canada, Australia, or right here in Southeast Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, look, it is a Monday, and actually one of the most difficult days of the week. The first day of the week is always difficult, coupled with the fact that Chelsea fans we slept with disappointment yesterday. Our first game of the Premier League season started with a draw with Crystal Palace. Yeah, with Crystal Palace. Many have said that it's not a bad result because in actual fact, Crystal Palace, they are going to be taking away points from many teams this season. The top 5 teams, Palace will surely take points away from them. Yeah. Top 4, top 5, top 6 teams, Crystal Palace will take points away from each of these teams. I am saying it here because when you look at the way Palace performed, if they continue this way, they will disturb. They will be a force to reckon with. They are strong physically, tactically disciplined. Ladies and gentlemen, now, let me say this. After the game, I gave my post-match reaction and I gave the positives. But there are a few things I still want to point out, yes, this morning. Because we have a whole week to prepare for the next game against West Ham. What are we going to be expecting from West Ham game? Ladies and gentlemen, as poor as I think we were, there were still positives in the game which I brought out yesterday. We might look at this result at the end of the season and say, all things considered, it weren't a bad point, loss. Or how would I put it? It's like, because we are not going to be the only top 5 or top 4 team to be losing from them or to play a draw with them. Some top 4 teams will even lose. You will look back and we say, oh, it's even better than we draw than losing. I'm saying this with all honesty and confidence. Ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake. Palace are going to be taking points from top 4 teams. I repeat once again. Now, before I continue, I saw this and I'm like, wow, this is the first time I've come so close to seeing the real badge. The real Club World Cup badge, the World Champion badge. I don't know who took the picture, but it's a very close picture taken. Very close photo. Well zoomed out. First time I'm seeing it so clear like this. As you can see it on your screen. It is the first time. That's beautiful. To the world, to those who wear this medal, history belongs to you. Wow, okay, that's what's written on it. To those who wear this medal, history belongs to you. World champions, FIFA. Okay, that is what is written on it. My goodness. Anyway, let's get back to the the game yesterday. Joao Pedro's first test versus back 3. Joao Pedro first test versus a back 3 was his first blip in Chelsea shirt. Yeah. Gittins was given no room to turn on his afterburners on a debut day and was sacked after 54 minutes. Cole Palmer was diligently followed by Richards. Crystal Palace 5-4-1 stampeded out any creative ambience before it lit a fire within the Chelsea setup. It was only the second time in 11 Premier League games Cole Palmer managed no shot on target. Second time in 11 Premier League games, he managed no shot on target in a Premier League game. The result was a rusty front line misfiring. Rusty front line of Chelsea misfiring. 19 shots, 16 of them blocked or off target. That sums up Chelsea's performance last night. 19 shots, 16 of them blocked or off target. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, that is what transpired yesterday. Gary Neville, speaking after the game, at least for once, he said something, though not a compliment, but he was right on point, in my own opinion. Gary Neville. Hate him or like him, I hate him much more than you think. But he said something after the game. And this was Gary Neville. He said, I think Chelsea will have a very good season. But you are not looking at Joao Pedro and Delap in the same light as Arsenal's front line, or Haaland, or Liverpool. The spine is also not there. They are not ready. We are not just saying that because of today. Because they've drawn against a very good side in Crystal Palace. Ladies and gentlemen. Now, you know what interests me most in this? He said, Chelsea will have a good season. But they are not going to compete as well as teams that have the likes of Arsenal's front line, or having Haaland with Man City, or Liverpool. And he concluded, he said that the spine is not, or is also not there. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not here to say our squad is not in to compete. Like he rightly said, Chelsea will be in the top 4. He said so. I predicted Chelsea will win the league title. And I maintain my word. But come to think of it, if we are to fight for the title, then Chelsea must begin to put things in order. Yeah. We must begin to put things in order. It is very necessary that between this week and our next game, that's 5 days from now, yes, our next game is on Saturday, Enzo Maresca had to identify a way of playing against low blocks. And this is why, if K is not given, Delap, Chelsea fans will soon turn on Delap. Joao Pedro instead. Chelsea fans, they will soon turn on Joao Pedro. Joao Pedro is not the kind of player that can break down low blocks. Joao Pedro is a player that when we are playing fluid football, he progress the ball well, he can shoot very well. 1v1 with a goalkeeper, he'll beat the keeper. Delap, low block, yes, but the system we played yesterday just could not create opportunities for him. That is the reason why Cole Palmer could not flourish. We saw little bit of Cole Palmer only when Estavao came on with his creativity from the right flank. But that was almost too late. Clear chances only came when Estavao was on the pitch. So you ask yourself, the first 60, 65, 70 minutes, what was Chelsea doing? What was Chelsea doing, ladies and gentlemen? If not for the exploit of our defenders that stood their ground, especially, let me kudos once again to Josh Achampong. Maresca said it rightly. Very good, very good. We already showed some confidence with Josh last season. He dealt well with Mateta, and overall, he had a good game. Mateta was the most dangerous, and Joshua Champon really dealt well with him. He really dealt well with him. Otherwise, it would have been a disaster. I'm not saying Levi Kowa wouldn't have done the job. Levi is a senior player. Levi was the main man. Maybe, probably, Chelsea would have progressed the ball better. But hey, let's give the young guy his credit. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let me also quickly add that in the coming days, if Chelsea can secure Garnacho, yeah, I best believe Garnacho could be able to manage that left-hand side of Gittins. Yeah, Garnacho will be a starter in a lot of games if he joins. Because right now, Gittins is not there yet. It will take him time. It will take him time. Gittins that we saw playing against Bayern Leverkusen, we were like, wow, 1v1, wow. But in yesterday's game against a Premier League side, no. Garnacho coming in right now as a Premier League player will hit the ground running. So Chelsea, for me, I think I am giving my nod. Chelsea should get the Garnacho deal sealed, if possible, this week. As soon as possible. Not even Xavi Simons, because Xavi Simons coming from another league, another Bundesliga. Garnacho could be one of the keys we can use to unlock our attacking front going forward. Whilst Gittins, players like Gittins, they begin to learn from or get used to the league. Gittins could come in extra time or like after Chelsea has already sealed the deal or winning. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, Gittins is still very raw. He's still very raw. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my take on yesterday's game. Because, honestly, if it has to continue this way, Chelsea will struggle going forward. Now, quickly, to some other news before I let you guys go. FC Bayern and Christopher Nkunku have reached a full verbal agreement. Personal terms are now 100% agreed. And Christo wants to join Bayern. However, Chelsea still want a permanent deal as previously reported. While Bayern are considering a loan, there is no agreement on the structure of the deal yet after new talks on negotiations over the weekend. Yes, including yesterday. Further talks between the clubs are expected, according to Max Ebel, pushing hard, but it's difficult. So personal terms are already in place with the player, but deal between the two clubs is still not yet agreed on. Ladies and gentlemen, and my good friends in Manchester United, even as I let you guys go. Mbwe. Is it Mbwe or Mbwemo? The guy with the full muzzle, and they say he's just 23 or so, 22. Mbwemo. Well, he did well. He did well against Arsenal, you know. He did well against Arsenal. Arsenal did everything possible yesterday in the game against, how do you call it? Manchester United. Both sides, I think United actually deserve more. I heard the coach of Manchester United speaking, Amorim, where he said they've proven that they can compete. Yeah, but you lost the game. Amorim, you've proven that you can compete, but you lost the game. Arsenal still won 1-0. You see, Arsenal just took their chance. Calafiori, whether he was at that end of the goalpost by mistake, you know, when the ball came in, Arsenal, we know they are the best in free kicks. I mean, set piece. And that was what settled the deal for them. Otherwise, that game would have also ended 0-0. But hey, Arsenal had the 3 points. Congratulations to them. Well, guys, I'll be back with more exclusive. We are still trying to analyze the game, Chelsea, Crystal Palace. We shall be back in the coming hours. Shalom and peace.